Hi everyone and welcome to this video about making some rose oil. So this is going to be, this is not going to be 100% concentrated rose oil. I'm not actually sure how you do that. But what I'm using is some almond oil to add to the mix. And I took 5 roses yesterday out of the garden. I would probably prefer to do this on the same day, but I knew that it was going to rain overnight. So I wanted to get the roses off before they got too wet, and then I had to dry them. So this was the first rose bush that I've planted in my garden, and it's very heavy with roses this year. I'm so delighted. It's a prima ballerina rose, and the smell is just gorgeous. So what I've done so far is I've been filling this pot up with rose petals, and I've just been tearing them a little bit, so more of the surface area of the petal will be in contact with the almond oil, therefore it will be easier to release. It's wonderful, wonderful fragrance. Okay, so I'm going to be putting almond oil in, but I do want to put in as little as possible. I want this to be as concentrated as it can be. And I've not made this before, so I'm playing by ear a little bit with this, or by heart. That's what we're playing by heart. Okay. Wait and see how far it goes. So one thing that I really love about the rose petals, when you're breaking them up, you can feel that the liquid is coming out. And I didn't make any oil last year. What I did with it last year was I used to just get the petals and rub them on my hands, on my face, and you can feel the liquid coming out, and it just feels so amazing. Okay, so I'll put a few more petals in. I've got plenty more left. And I figure that once these go down a bit in size, then I'll just keep adding more. So I've got my pan of water there. The water's already boiling, but I want the temperature to be a bit lower. Well, quite a bit lower than boiling. I'm gonna, oh, this is a new jar. Ugh, there we go. So I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna put the lid on, which will help the water to not dry out too quickly. I'm gonna set myself plenty of alarms on repeat so that I keep coming in and checking that the water hasn't boiled down. Pop the lid on. So that's just on 2. But again, I'm going to play around with that. It might need to be on 3, but I think 4 will be too much. Oh, I can smell the fragrance already. So what I was going to say about the liquid coming out is that's why I'm not completely sure how much of this oil to put in, because it is going to be releasing liquid from the petals too. So I've got plenty of petals still to go in. I don't know how much of this is going to fit in. Okay, so I set the alarm for 11 minutes and it's just gone off, so I've just taken it out to have a look. Let me do this with my left hand so you can see. Still pretty hot. Okay, so you can see hopefully how much it's shrunk down already, just being in the heat. So I'm going to add more petals. I may need to add more oil, but I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. And the smell, oh my goodness, it smells amazing. This is a 200 ml jar that I'm using. So I'm going to just fill it up again and see how we go. I'm really excited for this oil. So one thing I do with my rose bushes, and this is where the woo quotient comes in. I sing to my roses. I speak light language to my roses. And I communicate with my roses. I ask the rose bush, which roses shall I take for this oil? I ask the rose bush, where should I cut on the stem? And what happens then is that my eyes go to a certain point on the stem, and so I'll put the scissors or whatever I'm cutting with at that point and just say again here, and you kind of just know the answer. You kind of just feel inside whether it's a yes or a no. Okay. Nice and easy. Gently put it back in. I might just top up with a little bit more water. Put the lid on and come back in about 10 minutes or so. So another way that you can add extra chi, extra prana, ki, Lifeforce energy, whatever you want to call it, is the use of crystals. So in here I have plantain leaves from last year, and what I did with these, I've had crystals with them since last year to keep the energy levels high. So I've got clear quartz, and you can program clear quartz to do what you wish, and smoky quartz. And the smoky quartz will remove any denser energy, any heavier energies from this and charge it up as well. And that's what the clear quartz crystal is doing, it's charging it up. Now I didn't actually put crystals on top of the roses yesterday, but I will be using these later on in the process. Another thing that you can do is, as you take the roses, as you cut the roses from the rose bush, hold them in your hand and intend that Lifeforce energy goes into the rose through your hands. So Lifeforce energy is the energy that permeates the universe, the cosmos. It's the energy that's in everything. It's in us, it's in Mother Earth, Gaia, it's in the rose bush already. So just hold anything that you're working on in this way, any plants, any crystals, you can charge your crystals up in this way as well. And as I'm talking about this, my hands are getting ridiculously hot. Another way that you can tell that the energy is coming through is you might feel tingles in your hands or like a buzzing. So I'm just going to show you with this. So I've got a handful of petals here. So you might want to breathe in as you do this, breathing in love into your hearts, into your hands, and connecting with the heart of Gaia, connecting with the heart of Source Creator, the Prime Creator, whatever name you wish to use. And I also, when I'm connecting heart to heart with Gaia and with Source energy, I usually connect heart to heart with the sun, with the solar energy as well. And then with your intention, you're intending that Gaia's energy is going to come up through your legs, through the base of your spine, through your perineum, through the pillar of energy that goes all the way through your body, and it comes out of your crown and comes back, comes into your heart, comes into all of your chakras, goes down and comes back in through your feet. And I'm also intending that my crown, at the top of my head, my crown is open so that the life force energy, the cosmic energy, is coming down into my crown, down that column, that pillar of light that's around our spine. And out through my hands. So what I'm feeling now, my hands are really throbbing, and it kind of almost feels like the rose petals are pulsating. And although I haven't held every single petal that I'm going to be using, because they're all going to be connecting in the jar, and because they are all connected and I'm intending this, by just doing this with a few of them, the energy is going to go into the collective, it's going to go into the whole. Okay. And you can also set an intention. So if there's, if you're wanting to use the rose oil to regenerate your body, your skin, if you want it for a specific medical purpose, like as an anti-inflammatory, then just intend that. And you can state that intention if you wish to as well. Often it's quite beneficial. It seems to activate things more if you say them out loud 3 times. To say them out loud so you're bringing it out into the physical world, not just as a thought. And so I am going to just add that I'm intending for this rose oil, I'm intending to activate the regenerative properties of the rose through this oil. I am intending to activate the regenerative properties of rose through this oil. I am intending to activate the regenerative properties of rose through this oil. Okay. And just to add to that, that if you think of something after you've already done the intention, you can still add it. You can still send it back in time. If you say it out loud 3 times, then it will just be added. So if after you finish the oil and you're like, oh, I didn't make it for blah, blah, just add it. And that will work. So the rose petals have been infusing in the almond oil for a few hours now in the hot water. So this is going to infuse for a further 24 hours. I'm going to put it in the cupboard in a dark place and keep it in there for at least another 24 hours. But I'm really happy with the smell. It's just amazing. Welcome back. Okay, so it's a few days later. A couple of days ago, I squeezed most of the mush that is the rose petals. I squeezed most of the oil out of that through the cheesecloth. And that's what I have. I'm going to need to put this through the cheesecloth again because there's quite a bit of sediment down at the base. It smells absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness, it smells absolutely amazing. There's not too much, but I'm happy with the amount. I haven't finished that. I still have this much to do, so this is what I'm going to do now. It has been placed in the cupboard with these 2 crystals on top of it, infusing the rose oil with their energy magic. And this stuff that's left, like I don't really want to waste this. There's still a fair bit of oil in this. So what I'm doing is just getting this out and either rubbing it on my face and getting the oil out, just so I don't waste it. And I've been keeping this in the fridge. Okay, so I'm actually just going to lift that through with my hands. So I'm just going to give this a little squeeze. Squeeze through the last of the oil. And after I've got the last bit of sediment out, which I might do on its way to here. Okay, so I'm just going to put this through. Yay. All right, so the last little bit, I just want to get this through the cheesecloth again and get the sediment out. Just so it's just the pure oil. There we go, just a few mils at a time. But it's working, it's catching the sediment on the cheesecloth. So I'm singing. My intention with the singing is to bring more light into this, more love, more energy. And when I sing in this way, I am using my voice to bring source light through. So you can use your voice to bring tones, keys, codes, frequencies of light through into whatever you're doing, into your body, into your plants if you're gardening, into your rose oil if that's what you're making. Kia la tarana taithe, kia la kaya yao, kulana heiana, kamana kaya, koala heia, kala hiana o, kalana heia. I'm just going to check that the sediment it might need an extra one. So I'm finding that I just have to be really gentle with this and not try and push it through, because when I try and push it through, then I'm getting more sediment in there. So this has been quite the task. Some might say it's been a bit laborious. However, it's been fun. So laborious is too heavy a word for what this has been, but it's taken a while. The last little drops are just sitting here. What I found was that if I try and push it through, it's pushing too much of the sediment through. So I have to just put it in and just let it slowly drip through. And the other thing is, because of the sediment there, it stops dripping through. So then I'm having to scrape the sediment back. So I think what I'm going to have to do, because the first bit that I was doing before, hopefully you can see this, there's still quite a bit of sediment there. So I'm just going to have to keep repeating this until I get all this sediment out. And the reason I don't want the sediment there is because it's organic and the oil will go off more quickly. So the purer it is, as in just the oil, the better. So this I'm going to have to repeat a few times. I think another thing that I may have done, I may have done the rose petals for too long in there. Maybe it didn't need as long as that. Maybe because it was in so long, that's why it's got more sediment, it's more mushy. So I didn't really create this video as in this is the perfect way to make rose oil. I've never made it before. This is me just going, this is how I'm making rose oil this time and how I'm putting extra chi in there. Just feel amazing though. It's really hard to say, to put into words just how luxurious this feels. The smell is just incredible. And even though this has been a slight mission, I'm so happy and I'll probably do it again. Speaking about light codes, as I was before, to my side here are some written light codes, which I do for people. Haven't done for a while, but it is part of what I offer. Feel free to message me if that interests you. Okay, so I've decided what to do to solve this little conundrum. Because all the sediment sits at the bottom, like in this one, there's only sediment to there and the rest of it is clear. And with these new little bottles came these pipettes. So the easiest way to do this is to just keep lifting it up with the pipette, leave the sediment at the bottom, just take it from the top. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now. Oh, wow. Ah, that's better. Waiting for that last little bit to drop through, and then what I'm going to do, so now I have, oh, as much as that. That is sediment free, which is awesome. Who knew this was going to be so messy? So next time I do it, I'm not going to let the rose petals get this mushy. And I think it's going to be a lot easier. All right, so it may not be the perfect way to make rose oil. It may not be the best, but I'm happy with what I've done. It smells amazing and I'm going to use it. So just to say a little bit more about the extra chi, the extra prana, the extra life force energy and the extra crystalline energy. The oil that I have, which actually looks amazing, both containers, I'm going to put them together. Both containers are nice and clear. They don't have the sediment in. So I'm going to put them into one container and I'm going to infuse them with crystalline energy by putting these around them. And the way that I will do that is to put the container, I'll put them both in the one container and have these with the points pointing toward the container. It may have been a rather haphazard way of doing the oil. Next time, I'm not going to let the rose petals get so mushy. It'll be a lot easier. But I'm actually really happy with it and the oil smells incredible. So it may have been a bit of a faff to get there, but I'm really happy. So I might film the next one. If not, I'll just leave you with this one. I've been putting the oil, massaging it into my hands and the little bits of stuff that's left here. It is just so amazing. Smells incredible. And the vibration is off the charts. All right, until the next video, I will see you soon. If you've enjoyed this, please like, please subscribe, My YouTube channel is Heartful Living with Denise, and I still have my old YouTube channel, my older YouTube channel, which is In a Piece with Denise, and there's more than 200 videos on there as well. So love, 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 love. Thank you for joining me.